Hello everybody and welcome back to the Danish Woodsman. We are back at it again with yet another video, and I'll keep doing videos as long as I think I have interesting things to tell you guys. Well, today is actually quite a special video because it is a follow-up video to the very first video I put on my channel, which was a tabletop overview of the Zoe Crist Scout camp knife. And in that video I promised that when I had the knife for an extended period and done some testing, I would come back with a long-term review. Well, the time has come, and furthermore the video, as I said, was the first on my channel and the quality shows, so I think I owe the knife a decent video to show it off. So just jump right into the follow-up video and long-term overview of the Zoe Crist Scout camp knife. Here we are to take a look for the second time at the Zoe Crist Scout camp knife. But as usual we will have to start with the sheath, because I believe that most of you guys watching now wasn't watching my first video. But the sheath is overall a classic leather sheath. When it comes, it has scout straps here and here in order for you to carry it scout style, and it has a retention strap here in order to hold the knife nice and secure. Overall it's a super good sheath. With it being a leather sheath, it is quite squeaky, but it holds the knife very nice and secure. The belt loop is big and you'll be able to fit most belt through there. Furthermore, it has a drainage hole in the bottom and a D-ring there that you can put a string through in order to lash it to your leg so it doesn't flop around much when you're carrying it. Overall it's an okay sheath for the knife. As I said, it holds it in nice and secure. Only a little bit of rattle, and with it being a leather sheath you can obviously wet form it in order to get rid of that rattle. But that was a quick look at the sheath. Now let's continue with the knife. So here we are with the subject of today's video, the Zoe Crist Scout camp knife. And I will quickly just run down the specs for you guys in order to give you an idea of its dimensions. It has overall length from tip to bottom of the handle of 37.8 centimeters. It has a blade length of 24.44 centimeters, a thin blade of only 4.7 millimeters, and the weight of 885 grams, so relatively light for its size. And it's made from A2 steel, which is kind of outphased at this point in time by most knife makers, but A2 is still a super great steel, nothing bad to say about that. And it obviously has a clip point blade. So now let's get into the discussion. So let me start the discussion by giving you my thoughts on the two elements of the blade, which is the handle and the blade. Let's start with the handle. The handle on this specific one is, I believe, is walnut blur, but it can be had with all sorts of handles, micarta, G10, and so on and so forth. The handle is a one precision handle with a swell down here to keep your hand nice and secure locked in, and almost a choil here for your index finger, which ensures a super good grip. So you hold it like this with your thick index finger in the choil and your palm, or the backer part, feeling out your palm. And when you're holding it like this, it actually gives you a super secure grip. For larger tasks you can swing the knife and you really feel that you're locked in super good with the thumb here in the bottom, but you actually also feel that you have a super nice control for thinner tasks. Because of the choil up here, you're really close to the blade and you can put your thumb on top and you actually have super good control over quite a big blade. So I really like that. So even though it's only a one precision handle, it can actually do a lot of tasks. In regards to the blade, I like the overall shape of it. I like the clip point, and I like the convex edge which is on it. It's not the most interesting in looks, but it does the job and I overall enjoy it. Well, if you have made it this far into the video, you have officially made it to the interesting parts, because this is the discussion part. And this is the part where I might seem a bit harsh, but I'm only trying to give you my honest opinion. Because I have mixed feeling about this knife, and I'll explain why. If you look up the Zoe Crist Scout Camp Knife on YouTube, you will find a video from either Knife Tip 3 or DLC Trading of Zoe Crist explaining the purpose of this knife, and Zoe Crist obviously being the designer. And in the video he says that this is a large knife he designed for hunters, for clearing trail, large or medium batoning, small batoning, and general camp chores. And that's where the issue starts for me, because when I'm choosing which knives to bring with me to the woods, I'm thinking about the tasks I'm going to do, and then I think which of my knives will be the best for this job. Which means that if I'm going to pick this knife to come with me to the woods, it has to do the job that I'm going to do better than any of my other knives. And honestly, I haven't really found a use for it, because if, as Zoe Crist describes, I'm a hunter and I'm going into the woods, and I know I will not be doing any woods work or only light, and I will probably be field dressing something, I will bring my Kephart. This blade will not field dress anything better than my Kephart. If I'm going into the woods and knowing that I will probably be setting up camp and doing a lot of chopping, I will bring my JX5, because the JX5 is simply a better chopper. The Zoe Crist is simply not as good as chopping as the JX5. If I know I'm going into the woods to do general woods tasks and just need a solid knife on my belt to do all sorts of tasks, I will bring my Bravo 1.5 LT. Because for general medium tasks, the Zoe Crist is not better than the Bravo 1.5 LT. It has a better size. This is too big to do those tasks. But let me elaborate those points in just a second. So the point that I'm trying to make here is that Zoe Crist designed this knife to do a lot of tasks well, but ended up with a knife that really isn't good at anything. With it being as big as it is and such a thin spine, you aren't going to clear much trail with this, and you aren't going to be chopping up big lungs of tree or doing big batoning because it's simply too thin. With its size, you are not gonna put it on your belt and carrying it around for medium task use, because it's just too big for that. And you will definitely not be field dressing anything with this, because it could just be easily done with a smaller knife. So what I'm trying to say is that more is less in some way. In some situations it can be ideal to focus on one thing and really try to make the knife excel in that area. And I may seem kind of as a hypocrite here, because I just said a lot of positive things about the JX5, which is said to be a very versatile knife designed to do big and small tasks. But even though it's designed to do a lot of things, it has one area where it excels, and that is in the chopping. Whereas I think that this knife can do a lot of tasks well, it doesn't excel in any area, which means, as I said, it can do a lot of things, but in those specific categories you can get knives that will do better. And you can get knives that will do more jobs better. As I said, I would say that the JX5 simply outperformed this in being a versatile all types of use knife. So that was my thought on the Zoe Crist Scout Camp Knife. I really wanted to like it, but I just couldn't find the use for it because I have knives that can do all the things this can do, but better. So that has been it for the Danish Woodsman. If you have some thoughts on the video or on some of my points, make sure to leave them in the comments down below. And stay tuned for a review of the Bark River Kephart coming to you in the near future. This has been the Danish Woodsman, and I hope you enjoyed, even though I said some negative things about a really good knife. I'll see you in the next one.